put a fighter in your corner.
Hope you're having a great day, and we would like to welcome you to another wonderful segment, another episode of the dynamic, illustrious, eccentric, world-renowned personal injury lawyer,
me?
Walton.
I didn't know who you were talking about.
Yeah, you know the hands got to clap, clap, clap.
Thank you very much.
Clap. But that describes you, man.
Huh?
What do you think about it?
I go with
You didn't know who you were talking about?
I know who you're talking about. I thought we were having a guess.
You did, but you are the guest.
I am the guest.
Yes, you're the guest.
It's always a guess what I'm going to do.
Because Lady Mercy don't ever talk to us.
She don't talk.
She just
keeps her eyes shut.
Sit there and wave.
She's not even peeking.
Well, she holding, not waving.
Yeah. Right.
Lady, how you doing? We haven't talked to you in a while. All right, don't send anybody up here to check on us. We're good. We're just having some fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we talk to statues all the time.
That's right.
But you do statute of limitations, though, right?
I do. I run from statute of limitations.
Okay, you run from them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try not to. Had a case come in the other day from a law firm. They've been sitting on the tractor-trailer case, a good tractor-trailer case, for almost 2 years. The statute's fixed to run, so we filed a lawsuit this week, 2 days before the statute of limitations. Ugh.
Okay.
It makes me nervous.
Now, that's a term I've actually heard a lot the last 3 weeks, statute of limitation. Mm-hmm. And you may have covered this in another show.
I don't think we have.
But I was just going to ask you, what does that really mean?
We just assume everybody knows what it means.
Exactly.
But what it means is, if you do not file your lawsuit, settle it or file it within the statute of limitations, which just says a simple negligence car wreck case is 2 years, then you lose the right forever to file it. And I have had serious cases where people's loved ones were killed in a truck wreck or car wreck, and they were so upset they just went, they had to take care of the loved one, do the burial and all that. Then they didn't want to be bothered, so they sit at home, and then, a year or two goes by, and then they show up at the office and they say, we want to talk to you about our son who was killed by an 18-wheeler. And I said, okay, we do that. And then I said, so when was it? And they said it was 3.5 years ago. Mm. And I said, has somebody already filed the lawsuit? They said, what you mean? I said, we've only got 2 years. So if nobody's filed a lawsuit for you, there's nothing we can do. It's over.
Wow.
And so, potentially a 6-figure, 7-figure case. Of course, it wouldn't bring back their loved one.
True.
But it's a serious thing. You got to keep up with statutes. And when you have a lot of cases, like a lot of big firms do, every statute of limitations comes up, 6 months from horns blowing off on the computer and lights are flashing to make sure it gets filed if it hadn't been filed, or gets settled. If you settle it, you don't have to file it because it's over. But if you don't file within the statute of limitations, and the different statutes for different things, that's a problem.
Was this statute of limitations set by the Supreme Court many years ago? How did this come to?
The legislature would set it.
So this is something, is this an Alabama thing, or the statute of limitations
nationwide?
Nationwide.
Like Tennessee has a 1-year statute of limitations on a car wreck case. Everywhere else has at least 2 that I know of.
Okay.
So, I've known lawyers that get Tennessee cases and they just put it on the back burner, and then they start looking for a lawyer in Tennessee after 1.5 years, and they've already missed it. So then they need to call their malpractice carrier and alert them that they're fixed to be sued.
Okay.
So, it's scary business.
So does that more so benefit the court system or the individual?
The statute of limitations?
Yeah.
I guess it benefits everybody to keep everything fresh.
Fresh, okay.
Because, if there were no statute of limitations and you waited, like with some criminal cases, murder, rape, several Class A felonies, there's no statute of limitations. So that's where you see, probably where you see it the most is like, who was the comedian that got sued by a bunch of ladies that used to be a famous nice guy, and he ended up maybe not being such a nice guy. Had TV shows for years. I can't think of his name. But anyway, those lawsuits were filed 10, 15, 20 years after the alleged sexual assault.
Okay.
Because there's no statute of limitations. Mm-hmm. So those are very difficult to prove. people kind of look at you with a jaundiced eye, like, why did you wait 15 years? Why did you wait 20 years? But because there's no statute of limitations, they can do that.
Well, thank you for sharing that with me. I now can actually ask, if I'm asked, I'm 54, I've never been asked that before, but somebody asked me what statute of limitation means now. Because of you, I can tell them.
It means you got to get it done.
Yeah,
and
get her
if
done.
you hadn't got her done, you may have missed it.
Okay. Well, Trip, looking at your shirt and my shirt.
Looks like we're going to the beach.
Looks like we're going to the beach. I got a little pink in, and you got a little, is that aqua? What?
I don't know. It's an interesting mix.
Okay.
I saw it on the shelf in the store, and I said, I got to have that shirt.
Okay, I got you. That fits you. So yeah, we normally, the head of the operation here seems to think that we make phone calls prior to the show and say, hey man, you know what you're wearing. Hey dude, what you're wearing.
And we don't.
But we assured her that we don't roll like that.
No. And if we did, we would tell it.
Exactly. it ain't that cold outside.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
But speaking of statute of limitations and all the other good stuff, just in case people don't know what type of law you practice, give them a little
We do
history.
Wrongful death cases, car wreck cases, tractor-trailer cases, tractor-trailer on tractor-trailer cases, dog bite cases. I'm still constantly amazed at how many dog bite cases we have. We do wrongful arrest. We're fixed to sign one this afternoon or tomorrow. Against a huge corporation who wrongfully arrested somebody. And of course, we do all kind of personal injury cases. So if somebody's hurt in a wreck or hurt otherwise if somebody else is responsible for it, then we take a look at it.
Okay.
And we do a little bit of criminal work in East Alabama. We don't go into Georgia with our criminal work because I'm doing it all and I have over 50 cases of criminal work right now. So we try to stay within a small area.
Okay.
It's just something I enjoy doing.
Okay. Have you reached your quota for the year yet? I know you have a yearly quota that
No.
you would like to be at a certain point.
Oh, you mean money-wise?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't look at it I ain't got last year's money yet. I mean, I got to pay taxes, and I get my money from last year. I ain't got it yet. I usually get paid about halfway into the next year, after all taxes are done and pensions are done and 401ks are done and all that stuff is paid out.
Man, I hear what you're saying, but it seems like it's almost impossible for that to work and to be beneficial. Hey, that's why you fast a lot. So
That's why I fast. God, I fasted yesterday, and I didn't tell my personal trainer. And did I tell you I got a personal trainer?
You did.
And he nearly about killed me.
That's what you wanted to do.
But I like it.
Okay.
Because I would never push myself like that. I mean, I didn't want a personal trainer. My girlfriend has this personal trainer. We went out to eat 2 or 3 times. I could tell from talking to him, he knew what he was doing. And I wanted just to lift some light weights and be done with it. Well, we were doing all kind of exercises, jumping around, rolling around, throwing weight up in the air. I was shocked at how few push-ups I could do. I hadn't done a push-up in 25 years.
Okay.
And he said, we're going to start doing pull-ups. I said, we ain't doing no pull-ups. I can't do pull-ups and pull my arms right out of my body.
You'd be armless.
But I tell you what, when I woke up this morning, I could tell I had been through it yesterday.
Okay.
Ugh.
And you have to really have your mind made up when you require the services of a personal trainer, because there's a few I know up here.
Yeah.
They don't
They
play.
They don't play.
They're like, you call me and we're going to get results.
Yeah.
And I'm going to teach
And
you how to get those results.
Since you're paying for it, it makes sense. So, like, I talked to my girlfriend, she worked out with him at my gym after I got through. And she said, I went 90 to nothing because I don't have a lot of money. So when I'm spending, $50 a term, she said, I'm going to get my money's worth.
Exactly.
So, but it does help.
Okay.
I was not a believer in them, but I'm definitely a believer in them now.
Okay.
That reminds me, if anybody out there has any paralegal experience and is looking for a job, we need some litigation paralegals. So call us at 334-321-3000 and ask for Frissy, my office manager, and get her a resume so we can take a look at it.
Trip Walton is inspiring.
I just broke right in there with that.
And now he's hiring.
Well, let me tell you, we hired a lady from one of the positions, and she was to start Monday, and she didn't show up.
That could be an issue.
That's a bad issue on the first day.
Uh-huh.
We just relaxed, taking all the other resumes, shredded them.
Uh-huh.
We were happy with her.
Come on in.
Didn't make it to the first day.
Okay.
And didn't call and hadn't answered the phone. So, you know, it's a new world out there.
It is. I mean, you were back in our day.
And I found an article on that basically that
Okay.
said a lot of people aren't showing up for their first day on the job because they hadn't had to. People aren't working anymore. You know, I don't know how restaurant people are making it because they can't keep people, you know, waiters and
Oh, no, they
waitresses
can't.
and cooks, and it's a mess.
It is.
I never thought I'd be having a problem with it, but apparently we are.
Yes. Yes, and that deal with the, I mean, yeah, of course we look at the food, we look at the gas, and this
Yeah.
baby formula deal.
Oh, that's terrible.
I mean, it's interesting that Roe v. Wade and lack of baby formula are coming up at the same time.
That's weird, isn't it?
Huh?
That's weird.
Very weird.
Oh,
Very
man.
weird. You know, I thought about that when I was watching the story today.
Everybody's pointing the finger at everybody else. Who's, you know, Biden pointing the finger. Everybody's pointing the finger at Biden.
Uh-huh.
Ugh.
But it's a way to work it all out and
I'm
come
glad
together.
I'm not up there in charge.
Okay, okay. Well, congratulations to the Lafayette. We don't call them Lafayette. We call them
Lafayette.
Lafayette. Or if you
Lafayetians.
Lafayetians. Okay,
That's what I
Lafayetians.
always call myself. Yeah, people say, how come you call it Lafayette? I said, that's because that's the way it's called.
That's the way
It's not Lafayette.
Okay.
It is in Louisiana
Right.
and other places, but we
Uh-huh.
call it Lafayette. Yeah, they won the track state championship,
Okay.
which
Yep.
is good.
The Alabama High School Class 2A track and field.
I didn't realize they were just 2A.
Yeah. And I didn't
Cool.
realize the amount of students, the gap range that allows you to fall into that. I think
Class
it's,
A, class
I think it's 100 to 280 students.
is AA.
Yeah, I think it's a cutoff around at 250 or somewhere. Don't quote me on the numbers, but it's somewhere around there. And I was like, man, I thought Lafayette and Lynette had more students than that, but they don't.
Yeah. And they keep talking about combining Lafayette with Valley or something.
Yeah, there's something in the work. I won't talk about it because I don't know a lot about it, but
don't
something
either.
is.
I'm staying out of it.
Something is working. Something is brewing that
Yeah.
a lot of folks aren't going to like.
No, they're not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy at all.
You know, and I have to.
I'm glad.
Rafiki on the Lion King, he said, change is good.
I'm glad it's
for
not
all.
my project.
Okay. LaGrange, before we go into the scholarship for retired education, LaGrange beat
Tennis.
Cedartown. Well, baseball yesterday.
Oh, you
We're
going
going to tennis.
baseball?
They beat Cedartown yesterday, so they will be playing in the state championship game against North Oconee in Rome, Georgia on Friday.
Cool.
Best 2 out of 3.
Cool.
That just happened yesterday.
You
So-
right on it.
But you know what? I'm a Fairweather fan because I've never watched any baseball before, but I decided to walk down yesterday and see all the people scattered abroad.
Was it fun?
It was fun.
That's good.
So now go back
Yeah.
to the tennis players.
Tennis.
Mhm.
Congratulations to the LaGrange girls tennis winning second place in the 4A playoffs.
Okay.
Which they did a whole lot better than my daughter did because she got hammered in the state playoffs.
She did?
She didn't see the ball.
It was like an aspirin tablet coming over there
she
so
won
fast.
it. Yeah, she won the state championship 2 years ago, and this girl that she played had already signed with Stanford.
Okay.
And it was 6-0, 6-0. I said, well, did you even see the ball? She said, no, sir, not really. She
Yeah.
said, I got a lot of work to do. She said, I'm not as good as I thought I was. So, you know, that happens. If
Exactly.
you play long enough, you come up against somebody bigger, faster, stronger.
Always.
And then you have to reevaluate and get with it.
So that probably is going to make her work a little harder.
So she's reevaluating.
All right.
Now, Planet Fitness. This is interesting. Planet Fitness is offering free summer workouts for high school students, inviting high school schoolers ages 14 to 19 just work out free. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
From May 16th through August 31st as part of their high school summer pass initiative. And you can go to www.planetfitness.com/summerpass/registration and go work out
Go work out.
and have fun and get in shape.
I hope that'll happen.
I do too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wish they'd done that when I was coming up.
And also there are some free, I posted on Facebook, actually I shared it. Wow, I don't know if it's somewhere in Lynette. They have grass cutting jobs for youth 14 to 17 or something
Lawnmower
like that.
sling blade.
Yeah, you can cut grass. You know, back then when we were coming up, we wanted to buy something extra like a
Yeah.
bike or your parents go cut you some grass.
Yeah, you won't believe this. I worked for the service center, Langdale Service Center, in the summers for 2
Okay.
summers,
Okay.
pushing lawnmowers, sling blading, all that, all up and down all the mills, Moore's Mill Creek, cleaned it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was when I tell clients, they say what?
Say what? Yeah, yeah.
You did what? You from where?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I worked at least 2 summers at the Langdale Service Center. It was fun.
We had a lot of good stuff like that coming up that actually helped make us what we are today.
Oh yeah. I mean, you'd be out there in 95, 98 degree temperature and then have to go home and go to football practice.
Right. Yep.
I'm going, no wonder I couldn't gain any weight. Maybe I need to get back out there in the heat.
That's why my son, when they play football, every day after practice they eat,
Oh yeah.
replenish those calories that
Yeah.
were lost out on the field. Everybody don't have that luxury to do that, but they do.
Because it's tough.
It's
It's
tough.
tough to keep your weight. All right, motivational window here. We're still on visualization. So it's easy to spot a yellow car when you're always thinking about a yellow car. It's easy to spot an opportunity when you're always thinking about an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to spot reasons to be mad when you're always thinking about being mad. Sounds like one of my ex-wives. You become what you constantly think about, which we've said 1,000 times. So visualize your success. Like, for instance, my girlfriend's doing an interview this week with another department at Auburn. She said, you know, if I don't get it, it's okay. I have a good job, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, that's really not the way to think about it.
Okay.
You got to visualize yourself getting that job,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get the job.
Mm-hmm.
You got to see yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see it, you can't be it.
Right.
That's just, it's like magic.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's my thought for the day. It's the same thought, just a different way of putting it.
So are you saying, go back to how you spot a yellow car when you're always thinking of a yellow car?
Mhm.
So is that the reason why, just say you get a new vehicle,
Right?
and all of a sudden you see those vehicles everywhere? Is that to say that you were missing them before you got your vehicle, and now you're just noticing them?
I think it's
a little more?
I think it's like this shirt.
Okay.
You know, I buy this shirt. I go to the beach this summer.
Uh-huh.
Probably someone else has been to Dillard's and bought the same shirt, maybe 10 of them.
Okay.
So it just so happens that way.
But I've never seen a shirt like that before, I don't think.
Well, if you go in Dillard's, you can buy you one.
See, that's what I'm saying.
think that's
When
where
you-
I got
when
it.
You go to, I shop at Dollar General. I buy my clothes at Dollar General. They don't have anything like that. Really, I don't. But anyway.
They don't have clothes
Not
at
saying
Dollar
I
General.
won't, but I don't
That's
think
right.
they have stuff like that at Dollar
No,
General.
no.
They have a lot of other stuff.
Do they have
Dollar-
clothes at Dollar General?
They do. They do. They really do.
I did not know that.
You might need to. You just don't do anything black and yellow. You don't do Dollar General. You don't do Waffle House. I'm glad you like April. BTV. How about that?
I do.
But anyway, okay. Back to our viewer questions, which, you know, we love them. Trip loves them. Keep them coming. But we only have one question today, and that's from Anonymous. And says, hey, April, if I had a guest in my home and we got into an altercation and he got hurt that requires stitches, can he sue?
I'm going to
Can
assume
he
this.
sue me for doctor pills?
I'm going to assume this is a hypothetical since we don't talk about live cases. This
I'm
is
sorry.
strictly.
That's why I was just thinking in my mind. I was thinking, scratch that last statement. Can y'all edit that out? I'm having fun. Go ahead, Trip.
You know, you can always get sued.
Uh-huh.
So the question is, you can always get sued. The question is, can they win the suit? But yeah, if you assault someone,
Mm-hmm.
they can, one, have you arrested for harassment or assault, or two, they can sue you.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just go pay their bill and be done with it and shake hands and make up.
Okay.
But yeah, I have several civil suits going right now where people shot other people.
Okay.
Of course, accidentally, because an intentional act you can't get insurance for. So.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever seen cases where kids are playing in a neighbor's yard? A neighbor may have a brick sidewalk that's not all together. The kids are over in the yard. They are, like I said, they're playing in somebody else's yard. They step on a brick, a cement, and it gives away, and they get hurt and have to go to the hospital, emergency room. They're already in somebody else's yard. Is the person whose yard they're in liable to pay for their doctor bills?
Not necessarily. And that goes, I don't know what the law is in Georgia, but in Alabama, if a homeowner doesn't, if it's not a trap, or if they didn't know about it,
Okay.
typically they're not liable.
Okay.
And we've got one we just had come in yesterday where he stood up on a little brick wall in downtown Auburn that had a cement top to it.
Okay.
And he stood up to see if he could see his car where he parked in the parking lot. And when he did, it flipped over and it crushed his foot and broke it in 3 places.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at.
And that's not a homeowner. It's you know, we got to find out who owns the building
Okay.
so we can notify them they got a little problem.
Okay. So they got a problem.
They got a problem.
Okay.
So I'm assuming there's going to be some liability there.
Okay.
But homeowners is sort of a different ball game. The law typically protects homeowners. It's hard to sue a
Okay.
homeowner.
Okay.
You know, like if, for instance, in Alabama, if they have those tires out there, you know, tractor tire cut in half, painted white in front yard, and you trip over it, that's your, you know, it's open and obvious. It's your problem, not the homeowner.
Okay.
If you trip over, you know, lumber wood they have, you know, around the flower beds, well, it's open and obvious.
Okay.
There's no liability there in Alabama. I hadn't looked at it in Georgia in years, but we don't do those kind of cases. Trip fall, slip fall, we don't handle.
Okay. All right.
Unless there's surgery, if there's surgery, we'll look at them. I have settled one for, gosh, over $300,000 in a restaurant. But we had numerous people that said the floor was like an ice rink. I mean, you seldom get that.
Okay.
In fact, my client came in to see me. This has been years ago. And she told me what happened. I said, oh, yeah. Well, how am I going to prove that the floor was slick when it's just you against the restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, I got this napkin. 2 ladies came over and gave me this napkin you might be interested in, and it's got their names and their phone numbers, and they said to call them.
Uh-huh.
I said, well, have you called them? She said, no, what was I going to call them for? I said, so you want me to call them?
Uh-huh.
So she left, and I picked up the phone a day or two later, so I'll give it a whirl. So I called them. One of them was the manager of another restaurant, and one of them worked in the courthouse, was a paralegal. And both of them said they had just sat down to eat and said, you know, that floor is so slick, somebody is going to bust it.
Okay.
And then they heard,
Boom.
and there my client was. So they gave them their names on a napkin. Most people don't volunteer to become witnesses.
Okay. Okay.
So that, like I say, that was a 6-figure plus case.
Interesting.
I mean, my client's leg went backwards, and she had 2 or 3 surgeries. I mean, it was a bad injury, horrific injury.
Wow.
But we don't do a lot of slip fall cases.
Okay. All right. Before we, did you want to highlight anything on the wrongful death, or you want to go to Alabama news?
Let's go to Alabama news.
Okay, let's go to Alabama news. Bammer news.
We get into wrongful death. It's very complicated.
Okay.
Interesting thing here happened in Alabama. A federal judge blocked a part of Alabama's criminalization of gender-affirming medication. Now, we both discussed, we don't know anything about transgender.
Okay.
But apparently, it stopped the state from enforcing their medication ban, which went into effect on May 8th. It kept other parts of the law in place, such as banned gender-affirming surgeries, which are already not done in Alabama, so they didn't lose anything there. The judge also kept in place a part of that requires school counselors or other school officials to notify parents that their children have indicated they may be transgender. At some point in time, we're going to have to figure some of this out.
Yeah, we are.
We'll keep looking at it. Georgia news. Interesting. Georgia voters are going to appeal the decision on Representative Green's eligibility. Apparently, a group of voters challenged U.S. Representative Margie Taylor Greene's eligibility to run for re-election. They filed that with the Georgia Secretary of State, and the Georgia Secretary of State ruled in her favor. And you know what they're saying? That she was one of the main persons in the attack, or planning the attack on the White House or the Capitol, that's why, on January 6th, which I really hadn't figured out what they're doing with that yet.
Okay.
I mean, they had a bunch of hearings. Are they going to do anything? What do you think?
It looks like if something was going to be done, it would have been done by now.
While it was a little fresh, they
So-
just beating around the bush,
You're right, right.
just like they do on everything else.
Somebody's going to go down for it. I just don't know who or how many.
Yeah, if that's an insurrection, I'd hate
Yeah.
to see a real insurrection.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
like a bunch of drunks at a fraternity house to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who just, I don't get it. But it was improper, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, another thing is former VP Mike Pence is going to rally with Governor Kemp in Georgia this week, which is a breakaway from the Trumper.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
because Trump is supporting David Perdue.
Okay, so he is running again, Purdue.
He's running again, and Pence is on his side, and Trump is on the other guy's side. Now, this is something, if you played in the NBA, you'd be, this would hurt your feelings.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed that NBA players love candy? Every time I see one interview, they're eating candy, they're talking about candy.
Mm-hmm.
Or a lot of pro athletes, not just NBA. There's been a candy recall. Skittles, Starburst, Lifesaver gummies recalled.
Wow.
Candy maker Mars Wrigley U.S. is recalling several of its products due to the possibility of the presence of thin metal strands. That will certainly light up a gummy bear.
Yes, it will. It was
Not good.
not good at all. The radioactive gummy bear.
Ooh, not good at all. Okay. I don't understand the next issue on immigration ruling, so we'll skip it.
Keep that. Okay.
Now this is interesting. Elon Musk, you know, who owns Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting the jitters about his buyout of Twitter. You know, the purchase price is $44 billion. And apparently he may be considering backing out, so they're saying, well, you owe us $1 billion for the breakup.
Okay. Okay.
You walk away, you pay $1 billion.
You walk away and you pay $1 billion.
Or you go ahead and buy us out for $44 billion. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. A heap, a lot of money.
He apparently has got it going. I don't know. Now, did you see where the Surfside victims reached a settlement for almost $1 billion, $997 million in settlement? And the judge even said that he was shocked because they were supposed to just have a hearing, like a status conference.
Okay.
And the lawyer showed up and said, hey, not only have we got it settled with people we've sued, but we got it settled with some others who are contributing too.
Okay.
You know, that was that terrible where
Right.
the thing fell in and killed so many people. It was just horrible.
All right.
So anyway, that sort of does it for today.
That does it for today.
And our main office is located at 1710 Catherine Court, Suite B, Auburn, Alabama. For some reason I'm supposed to say that.
Mm-hmm. You want to fight in your corner? Call who?
Call Trip Walton
You don't
at
start the fight?
334-321-3000.
You don't start the fight?
We finish it.
All right. We thank you so much for watching us. Hope you have a great day. And I'll let...
Keep questions coming.
Keep questions.
Just not on actual cases, just questions about
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next time.
We don't start the fight, we finish it.
Car accident, DUI, wrongful death? Contact the Walton Law Firm, 334-321-3000.